Sarah Palin. The name sparks strong opinions, whether you know her from politics, television, or her unforgettable personality. But how did a small-town girl from Alaska end up one of the most talked-about women on television? And why is she often labeled as one of the most controversial figures in modern media? Today we're going to take a closer look at her life, her career, and the moments that made her a household name. Whether you love her, hate her, or simply can't look away. Sarah Louise Palin was born in 1964 in Sandpoint, Idaho, but she grew up in Alaska. Her childhood was far from ordinary, filled with the rugged outdoors and the harsh beauty of Alaskan life. She wasn't just the stereotypical small-town girl. Sarah had ambition. In high school, she played basketball and even earned the nickname Barracuda for her fierce competitiveness. That same determination seemed to follow her throughout her life. In 1984, Sarah competed in the Miss Alaska pageant, winning the title of Miss Congeniality. But while many may have seen her as just another beauty queen, Sarah had her sights set on something bigger. She studied journalism and worked as a sports reporter for local television before entering politics. This mix of charisma and communication skills would become a key part of her identity. Her big political break came in 2006 when she became the youngest person and the first woman to serve as the governor of Alaska. That was no small feat, but Sarah didn't just make headlines for her policies. Her bold style and unfiltered way of speaking made her stand out in a world where politicians are often polished to perfection. Love her or not, Sarah had a way of commanding attention, and she knew how to use it. Then came 2008, the year Sarah Palin became a household name. Republican presidential candidate John McCain picked her as his running mate. Almost overnight, Sarah went from being a local political star to a global figure. She was the second woman in U.S. history to run for vice president on a major party ticket, and the first Republican woman to do so. The media frenzy was instant and relentless. People couldn't get enough of her. Whether it was her unique Alaskan background, her bold statements, or her iconic "You Betcha" catchphrase, Sarah was everywhere. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Critics questioned her experience, her knowledge on foreign policy, and even her personal life. Who could forget the infamous interview where she struggled to name a single newspaper she regularly read? That moment became comedy gold and fueled endless parodies. The pressure was intense, but Sarah seemed to thrive in the chaos, turning her critics into fuel for her growing public persona. After the 2008 election, you might have expected Sarah to fade into the background, but that's not her style. Instead, she leaned into her media fame, becoming a sought-letter public speaker, author, and television personality. Her memoir, Going Rogue, sold over 2 million copies, proving that she still had an audience hungry for her story. She even starred in her own reality show, Sarah Palin's Alaska, where viewers got an up-close look at her family life and her love for the rugged Alaskan outdoors. Of course, not everyone saw her TV ventures, as some even called her indecent, not because of her actions, but because she didn't fit the mold of what they thought a woman in politics should be. Sarah Palin was, and still is, polarizing. But maybe that's exactly what makes her so unforgettable. Now, let's not ignore one of the most fascinating aspects of her career, her ability to stay relevant in a media landscape that moves on quickly. Even today, Sarah continues to make headlines, whether it's for her outspoken political opinions or her surprising appearances on shows like The Masked Singer. It's as if she thrives on being underestimated, using every moment of doubt as an opportunity to prove people wrong. But here's the question that keeps coming up. Is Sarah Palin really as controversial as people say? Or is she just a reflection of the divided times we live in? Some see her as a fearless trailblazer who refuses to be boxed in by societal expectations. Others see her as a symbol of everything wrong with modern politics and media. The truth probably lies somewhere in between, but one thing's for sure. Sarah Palin knows how to keep the world talking. As we wrap up, it's clear that Sarah Palin is more than just a political figure or a TV personality. She's a phenomenon, a mix of ambition, controversy, and undeniable charm. Whether you see her as a hero or a headline grabber, there's no denying that Sarah Palin has left her mark. And at 60 years old, she's not showing any signs of slowing down. So, what do you think? Is Sarah Palin the most indecent woman on TV, or is she simply playing by her own rules? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit subscribe. We'll see you next time.